What's up, Average Dad fans? This is the Google Pixel 6 Pro. This was my Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. Well, still is, but for context, past 2 months I've been rocking the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra and pretty much loved every minute of it. From hardware to software, the Xiaomi just works. But being a tech reviewer, being addicted to technology, I hadn't owned the Pixel 6 Pro yet. However, I did own the Pixel 6 and I loved that experience, but it wasn't a flagship phone. Didn't think I'd go around the route of buying the Pixel 6 Pro, but alas, I have the Pixel 6 Pro. I want to talk about my experience after a few weeks of using the phone. I want to compare it slightly to the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. Why? Well, arguably, the Xiaomi was the best Android phone of last year. I will accept arguments from those that own a Samsung S21 Ultra. Anybody else, be gone. I don't want to hear your arguments. It's between the S21 Ultra and the Mi 11 Ultra for best Android phone of last year. However, the Pixel 6 Pro was also released last year, and while it is technically a flagship, it doesn't come at flagship cost. The Pixel 6 Pro was £849 in the UK on release date, and I believe that came with a little bonus offer of Pixel 6 Buds. The Xiaomi Mi 11 was £1,299 on release day. No bonus buds with that order. So why am I comparing them again? Because I have gone from the Mi 11 Ultra straight to the Pixel 6 Pro. What does the Pixel 6 Pro have to offer? Well, it's obviously running the latest and greatest Android 12 software. Great. The Pixel 6 Pro also is the first Pixel in forever to upgrade its camera sensors. We now have a 50 megapixel main sensor, including an ultra wide sensor and a 48 megapixel telephoto sensor with 4 times optical periscope zoom in there. I do have camera comparisons coming up later in the video between, yes, you guessed it, the Mi 11 Ultra and the Pixel 6 Pro. But before we get into that, I want to talk about my personal experience compared to other reviewers' experiences and users, not just reviewers, users' experience of the Pixel 6 Pro. First of all, the elephant in the room, the bugs. Yes, there are bugs. I experienced these bugs from day one. Weirdly, some of them went away by day 5. Bug number 1, the elephant in the room, it's the fingerprint scanner. Under the screen, not supersonic, optical, works 10% of the time, 100% of the time. Is that what Ron Burgundy says? I'll clip that in here.
They've done studies, 60% of the time it works every time.
But yeah, essentially, it doesn't work every time, which is unfortunate. The Mi 11 Ultra works every time. And it's also optical. It's not ultrasonic or anything like that, like Samsung's technology that they're using, but it works every time. Why does this in-screen fingerprint sensor not work every time? I have no idea. People keep saying software updates will fix it, but the Pixel 6 Pro has been out for 4 months now, and it still ain't fixed. But it's not a deal breaker. It's not enough to say, okay, we'll pay the extra £200 to £400 extra for whatever flagship phone you go for. Other bugs or quirks. On day 1 and day 2, my phone would just crash, stop. Wouldn't recognise fingers, so it wasn't a hard fix. I would just simply have to lock the phone and unlock it, and that seemed to remedy the problem. But again, Google being the kings of software, you would think they could do better. Again, that was day 1, day 2. Past 2 weeks, it's never happened again. So that's a bonus. Other small quirks and rarities. I was on a phone call one time, and in 3-4 minutes into the conversation, it started making a really loud, incessant and annoying buzzing sound. I hung up, called again, buzzing was gone, never happened again since. I don't know. Anybody else experienced that? What else do we have? Auto brightness. Well, I say auto brightness would be great, but choose whatever feckin' brightness you want in whatever scenario you deem appropriate. Seems to be the way Google are going with it. I mean, I'll talk about this later in a camera comparison because it happens to me live while I'm doing a camera comparison. I could be in broad daylight and this phone will go super dark. And on the flip side, I could be lying in bed at night, catching up on some MKBHD or Mr. Who's the Boss, the two greatest tech reviewers in the world. Catching up on their videos. By the way, congrats Aaron on 10 million subscribers. One day I'd like to get to 10,000. But yeah, watching content in bed and in a dark room, pitch black actually, and the screen will go super bright, blindingly bright. And not like straight away. We could be a minute into the video and all of a sudden it decides, hey, let's put the brightness to 100%. Super strange. I'm sure there are other bugs and quirks and rarities that have come up over the past 2 weeks. However, it still doesn't take away from my experience of having a great time with this phone. I absolutely love this phone. The picture quality, the cameras churn out, and I may as well show you all these camera comparisons now. Rear facing 50 megapixel camera. How's the stability? We're walking at a fair rack of knots. Looks pretty steady to me. We're not going as fast as that guy that just ran past us. Let's see what the Xiaomi's like. Okay, moving at the same rate of knots with the Xiaomi in hand. Now, I will say straight away, the auto brightness on the Xiaomi works a hell of a lot better than the Pixel, because guys, when I was trying to view this video footage on the Pixel 6 Pro, the screen was super dark, and then sometimes if I'm in a dark room it'll go to 100% brightness. Hoping, well, I've been saying that for a couple of weeks and other reviewers have been saying it for months. Hopefully it's a software thing. It's probably not. Anyway, how was this rear facing camera stabilisation? So this is the front facing camera on the Google Pixel 6 Pro. Let me know how it looks. Not the subject obviously. I know I look beautiful. Put that in the comments. But how does it sound as well? From the viewfinder, looks pretty good. Let's compare it to the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. So this is the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra front facing camera. Let me know how this one also sounds. Do I look more beautiful, less beautiful? Certainly more bald. And how is the microphone on this? Leave your opinions down in the comments. You can be the judge. As I say, comment down below and tell me what you think of the picture, video, selfie, portrait quality of the two phones. But what I can tell you is, in my opinion, the consistency goes to the Pixel 6 Pro. It's consistently better with its saturation, its sharpness, its colour tones and palette. That's what a Pixel does. That's what Pixels are famous for. Pixel 3 XL, Pixel 4, Pixel 5a, which won MKBHD's camera test of last year, the Pixel 5a, a £400 phone. And it won it for a reason. It delivers superb dynamic range, colour and consistency. What else about the phone do I love? the Android 12 experience, it's just immaculate. The customization available on the phone is great. The toggles, they're editable. The skins, the themes, everything is completely interchangeable, so you can theme your icons and widgets and everything to your screensaver. You can have a daily changing screensaver. There's so much you can do with an Android 12 that you can do on all other Android 12 enabled phones. I'm aware of that, but the Google Pixel 6 just does it better. Other things I have to note with the Google experience, what they are number one at and have been number one at for a while, is dictation. I'm always going to say the name there, but the assistant that they use, if you want to type out a message, an email, if you wanted to dictate a whole entire book, this would do it word for word. Same with the Pixel 6, by the way, not just the Pixel 6 Pro. This is the other beauty of the Android 12 and Pixel software running on the Tensor chip. It's across both phones, and that was the Pixel 6 is a £600 phone, which I think you can get for like £550 now, which is amazing. The Tensor chip, I'm not a gamer. I haven't played a game on this phone if I'm being entirely honest, but I've seen other reviewers saying that this works perfect with Genshin Impact and Asphalt and all the other games that I don't play. So yeah, for me the Tensor chip works brilliantly for everything else, like taking pictures, videos, editing those pictures, using some of the great tools like Magic Eraser that the Google software brings, or the Pixel software brings. My experience, while having its bugs, has been overall brilliant. But there's a couple of things I would definitely change about the Pixel 6. I absolutely detest this. Now, what am I trying to show you here? If you use any Android phone, I will guarantee you right now, unless it's the Pixel 6 or Pixel 6 Pro, the power button will be the one nearest to your thumb on the right hand side of the device, or it'll be on the left hand side of the device on its own. But typically, if you've got the volume rocker and the power button on the right hand side of the phone, power button's always one at the thumb. Yeah? Well, the Pixel 6 doesn't do that. For some reason, I have no idea why, the Pixel 6 makes its power button at the top, out of reach for your thumb, because lest we forget, this is a 6.7 inch screen, 120 Hz, dynamic, adaptive, a beautiful OLED Quad HD display, perfect, brilliant, love the dimensions, love the size of the phone for me, but the power button is a two-handed job. Again, I mean, like, yeah, it's a struggle. Now, other facts about the hardware, we've obviously talked about the display. The speakers are outstanding. Consuming content on this phone is magnificent. Overall, it's just a great phone to use, and I can't say anything bad against it. Now, what I would say is, you could buy this new now for £829. That's a bargain. That is a deal. However, need I remind you more? Click on the banner up there to see my Wanda Mobile review, but I did buy the Xiaomi Mi 11 from Wanda Mobile for less than £829. Brand new, in box, with 65-watt charger. So again, you make the decision. Now, last thing I want to talk about, again, this has been on people's reviews and videos quite a few times now, and it's the battery life. What are you moaning at? I don't understand. And I know you well enough, having watched all your videos, to know that you are all telling the truth. So it's not about your honesty. What I can only imagine it is, it's Google's software optimization or battery optimization. I've made sure it's got battery optimization on, so it's learning my routines, but I consistently get 2 full days of battery out of my phone. anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of screen on time consistently. But I've seen some horror stories with people getting 4, at most 5 hours. Some doesn't even last a full day. I don't know what that is. I think that should be going back to Google, to be quite honest. If it's under warranty, there's an issue there, because I'm getting almost double the 4 or 5 hours that other people are getting. But again, I know you're telling the truth, because it's so disparate over the globe what battery life people seem to be getting. Again, I mentioned there I don't game, so you're probably thinking, well, you don't game, you don't use the phone. I consume content on the phone all the time. I'm on WhatsApp, Instagram, too much. So yeah, my battery life struggles have been, well, not struggles at all actually. And this phone charges at 32 watts or something wired. Does it within an hour and a half, somewhere around there. It's fine. Again, I do it on the second night, I do it overnight, and then it's good to go again for another couple of days. So, my overall opinion of the Google Pixel 6 Pro, it's like an annoying little brother. He does piss you off sometimes. He will break things. He will frustrate you. But ultimately, you love him. And that's how I feel about the Pixel 6 Pro. Thank you very much for watching. I have much more content coming on this device, other devices, blah blah blah. Subscribe. Peace.